He should not be the most searched. There's so many little boys out there who are going to end up also being bitches just because of him.
Have you heard of Andrew Tate?
Yeah, I think he's an ass.
What message would you have for Andrew Tate?
Stay out of women's business and realize that women are doing things in this world.
He's a
This is Andrew Tate. This is disgusting, is what I say.
What's the smoke with Andrew Tate? You feel me? Now, this ain't no secret. He's been up and down YouTube. He's been very popular. Everybody's been talking about him. So you know exactly who I'm talking about. What I want to do is I want to put my input into the situation and see what's going on. You feel me? I'm a neutral party. I don't know nothing about what's going on, but we finna find out. So you're going to get a neutral perspective. You're going to get an informed decision. You feel me? So what I want to do is we're going to react to a few different Andrew Tate TikToks, and we're going to see what everybody's mad about. Now, I got a general idea. I think a lot of people are mad and upset saying he don't respect women or they don't like what he say about women. I really don't know, so we finna just watch and we finna find out. And I'm gonna let you guys know if him getting canceled was right or wrong. I know y'all see the like, had to go get that blowout, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? What y'all think? Alright, let's get it poppin'.
I mean, I smoke cigars, but I know what the fuck I'm doing. Give me a big fat cigar. I'm risking cancer to look like a mafia boss. Fine. I'm not sitting there smoking cigars and going, I can't believe this is bad for me. No, like these fucking vape bullshit children. And what kind of parent lets their 16-year-old vape anyway? If I had a 16-year-old son, he's like, I got to vape. Get the fuck out of here, vape. Do some push-ups.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, okay, let's say this. I don't see nothing excruciatingly wrong with what that man just said. And you're right. If you got a 16-year-old, first of all, you ain't finna be doing shit. I mean, what you think? You think you grown? You think you just do whatever you want? Like, you 16, bro. If you still living in my house, you not finna just vape or smoke or do whatever you want. Right. You finna get smacked if you think you finna talk to me any kind of way. Yeah, and get your ass down and do some push-ups. You gotta teach your kids that they can't just do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Teach them some discipline. If you're not teaching your kids discipline, that's a problem. I don't like this soft society that we have moved into where you think that, you can't teach your kids or you can't discipline your kids. Like, kids need discipline. If you don't teach them at home, the world gonna teach them outside. And you don't want the world to teach them. Let's move on.
If you're not gonna have children, what are you gonna do with your lives?
If I'm not gonna have children, travel, just pursue anything that makes me happy. Try to make money. I love traveling, so I would probably just
drink cocktails on the beach. Okay, next.
About the same thing, like travel, focus on my career, things like that. Like, my career will become my baby.
What about you?
I honestly just want to get right into my career.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
What do you want to do in life?
Right now, so I go to the University of Miami. I'm majoring in interactive media. What I want to do with that is build virtual reality simulators for the military. Then I'm also minoring in motion pictures. I'm interested in acting and shit like that. Yeah,
Miss Cuba, what about you?
Do whatever the fuck I want.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Well, I plan on becoming a doctor. So I'm just, my career.
Your career.
I'm passionate about it, so.
A life without children is vapious, and it's inane, and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you at a whim and not give a second, don't give a solitary shit. So and when you're 52 and you're past it with no grandchildren in a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren in this beautiful life, and you're sitting there by yourself, do you think the fact that you can afford a few extra Gucci bags is going to genuinely make you feel happy? I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday. I looked there. My grandmother had.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie, people? What did that man just say that was offensive?
9 children, because there was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids, blah, blah, blah. I stood there and I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable? Yeah, that nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No, you had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife. That is beautiful. And if you sit here and genuinely think that you're going to work your ass off through your fertile years and by the age of 54, you're not going to be suicidal alone with a cat, then you're dumb. The happiest women on earth have children and a man who's paying the bills and their mothers. The happiest people on earth. I guarantee it. Your mothers, ask your own mother, do you regret having me? She's going to say, of course not. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. So now you're going to sit here and you're going to end your own bloodline? All your ancestors were out there surrounded by saber-toothed fucking tigers trying to survive on the streets out there in caveman days just to get to the final end where we have all the medical care and you can live in a nice warm house for your fucking selfish ass to say, no, I don't want kids. I'm too busy in the fucking strip club or going to fucking Mallorca to have a pina colada on the beach. It's absolutely insulting to your entire bloodline. Everything everyone above you has ever done and struggled for. All the times your grandparents went to work when they didn't feel like it, just for you to exist, for your selfish ass to say, no, me and my passions and my dreams and my shit drawings and my Instagram page is worth more than ever having children. You're a selfish fuck. Fuck that. You should all have kids.
Where's the lie, bro? Like, what did he say that was so fucked up? I'm pretty sure that 90% of you who watching this know that what that man just said in that interview was absolutely right. Like, yes, kids get on your nerves. Yes, kids can make you complacent for a second because you have to take a step back and care for them. It can be challenging being a parent. There's no handbook that comes with it. I get all of that, absolutely. But he's absolutely right. It's worth it. I have 3 sons. I was blessed to have 3 sons. I got 3 men who's going to carry on my legacy. I got 3 men who's going to carry on my last name. You know what I'm saying? I plan to be great at it. That's why you're watching this video. That's why you're watching this YouTube. That's why I'm on this platform. I plan to be great in this life. It's worth more than just saying, oh, I lived a lifetime full of a great career. Because just like he said, and I promise you that is the truth. Careers do not care about you. 9-to-5 jobs do not care about you. Let me put a little bit of touchings and care on this employee right here because they do. It's never going to happen. When you get old and you ain't got no kids because you base your entire life off a career, he's exactly right. Nobody's going to care. In that video right there, there was no problem with what that man said. Let's move on. And you Tate on why men need to be strong. Let's go.
I have an argument with a feminist, and she was saying that we need to teach men not to rape. And I said, my dear, I love how idealistic you are, but I am realistic. Men are already taught not to rape. She's like, no, we need to go and change language at school and rewrite history and do all the shit they're trying to do to make men weak because they think that weak men don't rape, which is another argument I want to come back to because weak men are the most dangerous men on the planet. Let's talk about that later. But I said, no, people already understand that rape is wrong. Unfortunately, human nature, some people don't care about doing wrong things. We should teach people not to steal, but they still steal. Would you agree that everyone says don't steal? The Bible says don't steal. The Quran says don't steal. Schools say don't steal. Everyone says don't steal. People still steal. So if I were to take $1 million in cash and walk down the street at night in the worst part of town holding it, to a degree, I would have some responsibility. When I got robbed, the police would come and say, why did you do that? People would say, Andrew, why did you do that?
Solid point. Solid point. That's the first thing people gonna say. That's the first thing people gonna say. Everywhere in the world, the first thing people gonna say is, why in the hell would you take $1 million and walk down the street in the worst neighborhoods? What are people gonna say? That was on you. You know it.
You have to protect yourself from things. You can't just rely on the ideological hope that other people in the world are going to be perfect and infallible, or that the law is going to prevent it. You have to say, no, I can't walk through the ghetto at 2 a.m. with $1 million in cash. I take personal responsibility. She agreed. I said, then by extension, would you agree that the smartest thing a woman can do to prevent rape is not to sit here on a podcast and try and change the way men think and talk about your bullshit, but to take some degree of personal responsibility and not put herself in dangerous situations? I'm not saying that's going to prevent all rape. I'm not saying that rape is okay. Rapists should be executed. I'm not saying that every single woman who was ever assaulted could have prevented it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying the smartest thing a woman can do is say, this is dangerous. Going home with this guy I just met is dangerous. Walking through this area by myself is dangerous.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Stop it, bro. Y'all finna stop right now. Because I'm telling you, I'm starting to see a trend, and I don't really like it. telling you that right now. Giving women some degree of responsibility is not saying that this is your fault you got raped. It's just like saying it's not his fault he got robbed when he walked down a dangerous neighborhood with $2 million in a duffel bag at 1 o'clock in the morning and got robbed. It's not his fault he got robbed. It's not your fault you got raped. 100%. Rape is wrong. 1,000%. But you do have a certain degree of responsibility when you put yourself in dumb situations. Where's the lie? That's all he's saying. I don't see nothing wrong with what he's saying. Don't leave the club and get in the car with a man that you just met that night, because when he takes you somewhere other than where you thought he was taking you, you have a certain degree of responsibility to this situation, because people are going to say, why would you get in the car with a man that you just met? Why would you walk down a neighborhood at 1 o'clock in the morning with $1 million in a duffel bag? You did it to yourself. That's what people will say to a man in a heartbeat. So we have to have that same standard with a woman. I don't see the lie in this at all, but we'll continue.
Call a taxi. Let me call my brother. Let me go with my husband. Isn't that a more intelligent way to teach women to prevent themselves from being raped, as opposed to telling them you can do whatever you want, walk around in the middle of the night naked, it's no problem, men shouldn't rape, men are the problem? I said, what you're trying to do is illogical. What I'm trying to say will actually prevent rape. So what you're saying, when you're telling girls do whatever you want, men are the problem, you're convincing women to put themselves in situations where bad things might happen to them. Whereas I'm saying, listen, women and men, look after yourselves. I'm a full-grown man, 4-time kickboxing world champion. There's places I don't go alone. Like I came here with security. That's called being an intelligent adult. So this is what I was trying to say. I was trying to say women need to protect themselves and bear some responsibility to make sure they don't put themselves in situations where bad things can happen to them easily. I'd like to think that's a pretty logical point.
It is.
No. Andrew said rape's fine. Andrew said it's women's fault. I didn't say that. I really didn't say that. It's completely insane. If I speak to my brother's daughter, or when I have daughters of my own, and they say, I'm concerned, how do I protect myself? I'm not going to say, don't worry, here's how we're going to protect you. I'm going to rewrite the mentality of every man on the planet so you can walk around naked at night. I'm going to say, listen, you don't go out at night. I'll come pick you up. Who are you going with? That's just intelligent adult think. But they've taken it, misconstrued it, taken it completely out of context, put it on TikToks, purported it, Media Machine picked it up, lied about me, deleted me so I can't defend myself.
Solid point he just said. That man just said they deleted me so I can't defend myself. If you gonna come at somebody with an allegation, just like we do in court, allow that man to defend himself. The counsel culture is counseling people out here and not even allow them to give a say-so back into kind of what happened. You can't do that, man. That's obviously influencing the situation on your behalf. Like, if I go to a store and I steal a Snickers bar and I walk out the store and don't pay for it, and you walk out behind me, and then I just immediately delete you and say that guy that just deleted, I just deleted, like he just poofed and vanished, he's the one that stole the Snickers bar. And he's like, oh, okay. All right, well, you're good to go. And I got a Snickers bar in my pocket. Like, it's a small analogy to what's going on. Like, you can't allow this man to come back and tell you, yo, I didn't steal nothing. Check my pockets. There's nothing in my pockets. You feel me? There has to be a wall, right? There has to be a wall of reality that everybody smacks into. You know what I'm saying? And that wall has to represent the bottom line. Like, you go no further than this. And what I feel like we're doing is just erasing that wall. And we're just letting people go as far as who knows. There has to scientifically be a wall where we say this what I just said to you is common sense. And you have to process it as common sense, because that's what it is. It's not an insult. It's not me degrading you. It's not me being against you. It's common sense to help you in your life. Don't walk outside at night by yourself as a woman, because scientifically you were created to be soft and nurturing, which we men love. Men were created to be strong and fierce. Not saying women are not fierce. Women can be fierce too. But men were made to be stronger. That's science. You can't fight science. So women should not walk outside by themselves. Men should not walk outside in a bad neighborhood where they can get jumped and robbed with $1 million in a duffel bag. It's no different than saying that. when we say women should not put themselves in dangerous situations either.
I'm dangerous to the world. It's a fucking scam. It's all a scam. And it's actually quite interesting because the people who are close to me have said to me in real time, Andrew, you've impressed us. I said, how? He goes, the hit piece they've done on you is unprecedented in the world. And you seem unfazed. It's like, it's not a matter of being unfazed. It's slightly annoying. It's a matter of just analyzing, what I can actually do about it. But I think most people who had been through the shit I've been through right now would be genuinely upset and affected by it. I don't give a fuck, right? Because I've set my life up in a way that I know I'm okay. But not many people can handle the entire world saying you're a fucking rape apologist and we're going to delete him from the entire world. He's dangerous to women. Not many people are going to want that to happen to them. So what they've done is genuinely criminal because this is bullshit. I was sticking up for women against feminists saying, don't tell women to go out at night. They're going to get hurt. It's absolutely insane. And like you correctly identified earlier, if someone were to hurt a female member of my family, it'd be the biggest mistake they ever fucking made. I don't care about, I'm the worst enemy a man who hurts a woman could be.
I don't see a damn thing that man said wrong. Like I said, I'm not here to defend Andrew Tate. I'm not here to go against Andrew Tate. I'm just giving you a neutral consultation on what's going on.
We'd never heard of him. And then the other day, virtually every tech company on the planet banned him. Not just his presence, but also his ability to conduct business on the internet. He was taken off Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Then they started telling you that not only was he not allowed to talk, but that you weren't allowed to like him because he was an incredibly bad person. And our view on that always is we'll decide for ourselves since we're adults and Americans, and we'll listen to anyone we want, and we'll come to any conclusion we care to come to about what that person is about. So we sat down at some length and talked to Andrew Tate, and we wanted to show you some of it so you could make up your own mind, which you're still allowed to do as far as we're concerned. Here's part of the interview.
I don't really feel like I've exposed anything. Like, I'm truly not a very political person. This is the first time someone's experienced this level of ban. I'm not particularly right-wing. I don't vote. I mean, I obviously have my own personal views, but they didn't ban me for that. They banned me simply because I had large swaths of the population agreeing to very traditional masculine values. Teenage men and young men, 22, 23, 24, were looking up to me and aspiring to be like me. I have a very traditionally masculine life. I have fast cars and a big house and a lot of money and a beautiful girlfriend. And they thought this was very, very threatening. And for some reason, they decided that it's better if they annihilate me from the internet and replace me with somebody who's more aligned with whatever they're trying to purport.
Tell us what your message is to young men.
Yeah, so I think that being a man is very, very difficult. I think that men's issues are largely overlooked. The people in charge of the world pretend to care, but when somebody who's championing men's issues like myself comes forward and finally manages to garner huge percentiles of the public support, I'm silenced. So they're not really interested in men's issues. And there's a lot of young men growing up today that feel very disaffected. They feel invisible. The agendas that are being forced down their throats are not agendas they align with or they feel affinity to or agendas they want. And I basically just say to men, look, it's a very hard life. You're going to need to get up, work hard, go to the gym. Strong body is a strong mind. You're going to have to reject listening blindly to everything you're told, reject the slave mind, think for yourself, get a strong network of brothers, work aside them. Don't tolerate low quality people in your life, which means don't tolerate men who just smoke drugs and play video games, or men who are disloyal or dishonest. By extension, don't tolerate women or girlfriends who are disloyal or dishonest, and try and build and create a reality full of high quality people in which you can resist the programming that the Matrix tries to influence you with, and grow up truly happy. And what happens is when I say these things, they ignore 95% of what I say.
I've heard enough. I've heard enough. So here we have a guy that's being ultra super realistic with the world around him. And so he's trying to help other young men understand the world around them. And he gets banned. I've watched 3 to 4 different videos amongst a lot of different TikToks that you guys won't see because all of them have music on them and they get copywritten. And I see no lies in what this man is speaking. So I challenge you right now to go leave a comment and tell me, what was your biggest issue with Andrew Tate?
Thank you.